Hey, what's up everybody? This is Damron. We're playing Halo Reach, part of the Master Chief Collection. We are doing a co-op LASO guide. We're on the final mission, the Pillar of Autumn. This mission's not too bad. It's a little bit long, but it's really not too bad with some of the strategies I'm going to show you. So just starting off, we're going to talk about things a little later, the difference between co-op and single player, but let's get right into this because there's some things that we need to know. As soon as you start the mission, just head and you need to kill this elite. Be sure you assassinate him, but very important, you need to grab this concussion rifle. It's very important that you get that. We are going to take that all the way to the end of this level, so we were going to juggle it later on. It's very important that you get that concussion rifle from that elite. Then just progress forward. We can skip all the grunts, don't worry about them, and then feel free to grab that health pack as well as this DMR ammo right here in the ammo box in that building after that elite. You can also kill these grunts here if you need to, but it's kind of a waste really. I think I was shooting at him and then I just said screw it and I left, but because there's several of them, there's really no reason to fight them. As you can see, we're just going to head on. So once you've got that concussion rifle, got your ammo, got your health, get onto this mongoose here. You want both players in co-op to go ahead and take the same mongoose. There's really no reason to take more than one. We are just going to speed past the next section. So one of the differences between single player and co-op, and one of the reasons really I made this guide, is because a lot of the guides you're going to find out there are for solo lasso, and things are different on co-op. As you've seen if you've been following this guide, some of the enemy encounters are different, so you have to approach them differently. Also, the Iron Skull, when someone dies, you restart as a checkpoint as opposed to the beginning of the level, so that allows you to kind of utilize some more of the speed strategies as opposed to the solo strategies, which are a little bit more careful in certain scenarios. So for instance right here, on co-op you may as well just drive past everything. Eventually you're going to get past it all, whereas solo, you may kind of hang back and try to kill some of the grunts as you're moving forward, but in co-op just hop on that mongoose and progress forward. Let's briefly talk about the blind skull. Obviously my HUD is completely empty. There is a workaround for that. You can hop into a custom game prior to the match starting and you can place a sticky note or whatever you want on your TV to give you an aimer. I didn't do that. I prefer to just kind of play it legit, but if you need to do that, feel free. In that section you saw me stop there before I exited that tunnel. That's because I wanted that phantom to advance further ahead. If you just blast out of that tunnel, that phantom will actually start shooting you with its turret, so wait up there for a second. Once we get to the next area, we're going to hop out. We're going to get into this building here. In this building there is some more ammo if you need it. There's also a health pack on the outside that I think my buddy grabbed, but we're going to be moving on. We're going to skip this entire section right here, which is nice. There's a wraith. There are some needle rifle jackals up on the tower, but we're going to not worry about them. Some guides say to grab it, but in co-op we're not going to worry about it because there's going to be plenty of needle rifle ammo up ahead, because we're not going to skip the bug section, because in co-op it's pretty easy to take down that section. But we're going to jump on these roofs here and jump across, and we're not going to have to deal with that wraith. You throw a grenade on these grunts here, generally they'll pull their nades out and suicide, and you've got three needle rifle jackals. We want to kill them, and we want to be sure that we take all of the ammo from these guys. So be sure we're grabbing the needle rifle here, and if you want to, I juggle the DMR ammo from here into the next section with the buggers. Okay, there is a way to skip it, but it's not as reliable in co-op because you have to use some concussion rifle ammo to get into the area to skip them, and your partner won't be able to do that. So unless one player gets up there and gets past that section and just runs along until the teammate spawns on them, the co-op partner is just going to have to wait back. But the bugs don't have any shield, so with two players with full DMR, you should be able to take them out pretty easily. And if you don't despawn that section coming up, you'll also get a lot of needler rifle ammo, and because there's two players playing, we really want to get that ammo. So in co-op I highly recommend not skipping this next section. So here's the cutscene, and if you kind of climb over this rock to the right of where I'm at now, and you use your concussion rifle to jump over that rock, you'll despawn the bugs. But in co-op, like I said, I don't advise it. Let's go ahead and get all this needler rifle ammo because we got more than one player and we really want to stock up on that ammo. And again, most areas are going to have more enemies in co-op, so at the very end, which is where we want all this needler rifle ammo for the brutes, we want to have as much needler rifle ammo as possible. So I'm going to juggle my DMR and my needler ammo all the way up here. There's an additional health pack right here on the ground next to this rock, as well as some more DMR ammo, I think, on the other side of the rock. So there's going to be plenty of DMR ammo to deal with these bugs up here. So we're just going to juggle forward, and as soon as you get to these dead marines, you know you're kind of in the right area. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of leave our needler rifle for now, and we're going to start taking these bugs out. Again, you've got 2 players, maybe 3 or 4, so you shouldn't have any problems doing this. They don't have any you know, helmets or anything, so you really only have to land 1 headshot in order to take them out. So let's get moving on and doing that. And while we're taking these out, I do just always, as always, guys, thanks for all the support you've given me. I appreciate all the support. The channel's been growing, so I want to give thanks to everybody that's helped the channel grow. As always, I won't monetize this channel. I do it for fun. Gamers for gamers, this channel, that's what it's all about. So if you guys like my stuff, feel free to like and subscribe. Hit that bell to get notified. Get involved in the comments. Get involved in this community. It's a great community. So thanks again. So let's get moving on. After you take out that first group of bugs, really once it gets down to about 2 of them that are left, they'll kind of retreat and they'll go back behind that wall. But don't rush up there, because as soon as you go up there, another group of them will come out, and if you're too far up, they can kill you pretty quickly. So this is all about taking your time in this section. You know, in co-op, generally, if we can skip things, we do, but we really don't want to skip this. As I mentioned, we really want to get this needler ammo from these skirmishers and these jackals in the next section. There's like 3 skirmishers and 3 double shielded jackals in the next area that we can get needler rifle ammo from. So that's really why I don't recommend skipping this section. So we're, you know, while we're lighting them up, we did cover the blind skull. We covered the difference between the iron skull and co-op. The other thing is, if you are playing solo and you're watching this guide, one thing I recommend is Halo Completionist Silver. His solo guides are very sound. They're very good. I watched all of his videos before making the co-op guide. But you're going to find in co-op, we kind of mix it up between some of the safe solo strats with speed strats, because we have more flexibility with the iron skull. So that's something to keep in mind. But if you are playing solo, a workaround for the iron skull is when you die, just save and quit right when you die, and you should be able to restart at the checkpoint. The difference between co-op is you cannot save and quit. If you are playing Co-op LASO, you must beat the entire level in one sitting, because if you save and quit in co-op and you come back, it will restart you at the beginning of the level. You will not be able to return to a checkpoint in co-op, so keep that in mind. So you did see those skirmishers down there that we took out. Again, I'm just juggling my needler rifle through this section. I'm collecting ammo. You don't want to waste your ammo for the needler rifle. We want to head into the final section of this mission with a full needler rifle. That's very critical. You'll see when we get there, I expend a lot of needler rifle ammo. But again, 3 skirmishers and they're 3 shielded skirmishers are really going to give us a lot of ammo up here between me and my partner. And because there's not many opportunities to get this ammo, and in co-op you're playing with more than one people, you know, more than one person I should say, but you really want to get as much of this ammo as possible. So that's really why we really want to focus on just taking this section slowly and going through it normally. So you can see me pressing back there. We'll just mention the blind skull. Obviously the HUD is empty, so not only the reticle, but you can't see which weapon you have. If you've been following my guides up to this point, you've heard me say this before, but if you're watching just this video for any reason, if you press back on your controller, it'll show you which ammo you have in your inventory. You could also look down at your shadow and see the shadow of the weapon you have equipped. And also each weapon makes a unique sound when you equip it, so if you've played the game enough, you will know which weapon you've pulled out just by the sound that it makes. So moving on to the next area, you can skip this entire area. You don't have to nade jump. You can actually jump on this structure if you're good enough. I'm not. So we want to nade jump up onto this wall here, and then we're going to cross this bridge, and we can basically skip this entire fight. We really don't have to kill much in this entire area, which is very good because there's a lot of enemies here, and thankfully we don't have to deal with it. So we're just going to progress on. Sometimes there's an elite right here. If there is an elite right here, you saw me kind of look to the right, you can take that right path to kind of walk around and come around the back side of this building, but either way you're going to want to walk up these stairs. So now I've picked up this laser and I'm juggling my needler rifle because I'm going to use this laser to take out some of the shade turrets up here. You don't have to. You could just run past on the same path that I take after I kill them, but it's a little bit safer, and there is a laser right here on the wall. The reason I bring the other one up as well is just so that I have two lasers, because like I said, with the blind skull on, even though the laser's there, look, I still missed. I mean, I'm trash, what can I say? But I'm keeping it trashy. But you want to take out these shade turrets because it's just easier not to have these guys shooting at you when you're trying to run to the next section. That's really all that I personally take out. If you want to, you can try to take out some additional grunts or elites or anything you want, but you don't really have to. I'm just going to expend an extra shot here, and I think I'm going to get moving on. Oh, I guess I take a shot at this elite here, but blast the wall. Look at that accuracy. So I actually am trying to take him out. That's unusual. But you don't need to. This is just a waste of time, to be honest, unless I can get a double grunt kill there. But anyway, let me go ahead and pick up this needler rifle back up, and then we're going to get moving on. So once you've kind of killed enough satisfaction and you're ready to move on, all you're really doing is trying to minimize the damage you take right here, because we're just taking this path, and if you don't kill those shade turrets, they can light you up right here when you kind of jump up and take this path. So anyway, we're going to take this conveyor belt up, jump down into this hole in the ceiling, immediately go left into this hallway, go back through the next door, and then jump down and go through this door here, and we've basically skipped that entire section very safely. So now that we're in this hallway, again, you should have at this point, you haven't fired any of that concussion rifle ammo, and you probably have a decent amount of needler rifle ammo with you as well. And moving on into the next section, this is a great trick to get past this next section. This is honestly awesome. And really makes this level much easier. So once we get here, we're immediately going to jump off the ledge here and go below everybody. Now your partner is going to stay back in the room. So one person's going and one person's staying back. The person that's staying back is, you can kind of pop in and out of the doorway. Basically, that person's just trying to get the attention of the enemies. So in solo, this is a little bit more difficult because if you're not good at parkour like I am and I just fall off all the time, it's actually easier if you jump over to the ledge on the wall there. I'm not sure why I was just trying to jump on the crossing pipes here, but you see the ledge right there to your right. It's actually easier to just jump over there and then jump up on the pipes. I don't know why I decided to take this route this time, but whatever. But in co-op, because you have a partner back at that doorway, they can actually just kind of keep all the attention on them, and you're not in as much of a rush. You're gonna have time. You're gonna see that because I took so long, they end up starting to shoot at me. But in solo, they're gonna be shooting at you basically the whole time, so you have to be very quick about getting up here. But once you get up on those pipes, go all the way to the left-hand side, you'll see a little gap in the railing there. You need to jump, crouch, and kind of push forward, jump straight up, crouch, and then push forward, and you should be able to land up there. It's not the easiest jump, but it's not too bad. And then once you finally get up here, we're going to jump over onto this catwalk. Now, once we progress on, what you want to do is you want to sprint and jump as far as you can. And the reason we're doing that is if you kind of jump past a certain spawn point that normally when you run it over it, it spawns enemies in the next section. So if you sprint and jump really far, you're going to see this next area is completely empty. And normally when you come in here, there's a couple hunters, there's a couple skirmishers, and those are enemies that you do not want to deal with on lassos, so let's not do that. And instead of going through the door, we're just going to jump up on the railing here and jump up onto the ledge and go through the window. The reason, by touching that door, you'll spawn the enemies in this next room. But if we go through this window, which I'm showing you the pro strats of how to get through a window, just try and try again. But if you jump through the window, you can actually get in here and nothing will be spawned. And what that's going to let us do is set up. So in this scenario, my buddy now, he actually has all of the needler rifle ammo. He's hanging back with it. And I have a DMR, and I'm just going to set up a little bit. And by set up, all you really want to do is go up to the main level and put some boxes in front of the door up here to prevent the grunt and elite from coming out too quick. Often they will push through the boxes, sometimes they won't, but most of the time they will eventually push through the boxes. But they usually, it'll take them a while, so you'll have time to kind of clean up the rest of the room without really having to deal with them. So let's go ahead and push the boxes in front of this doorway here. They're both right up on the same platform, and you want them as flush as possible with the doorway. And so let's go ahead and make a little barricade here to your heart's content. Alright, so once you're satisfied with that, basically if you go back to the door and just touch it, it's going to spawn the enemies in this room. Now again, in co-op, the thing here is that you honestly, unfortunately, you haven't advanced far enough for your co-op partner to spawn with you. But I have noticed that this room doesn't really have much more enemies than the solo variation, so that's good. You don't really have to worry about this room having more than what you're going to have in solo, so that's nice. But because they were kind of, you want your partner to hold the attention in that other room, um, you're going to be by yourself here, whoever decided to jump and take this route. Now your co-op partner and you can both take the same route if you want to, but it's a little more dangerous and you're going to have to be a little faster in jumping up on those pipes and jumping over. But you both can come in here. But you're seeing in this scenario, my partner's actually still back at that room, kind of waiting for me to clean this room up, and then once you finish this room, he'll spawn on me. So you can see I'm just taking my time. I have plenty of DMR ammo. I have this, and also that room which is to my left now, there's a whole weapon rack of DMR ammo in there as well. You'll see me go fill up on that a little bit later. So obviously these jackals are a little annoying sometimes to get past the shields, and you can always take them out. The thing that you want to worry about is what you're seeing here. This is a invisible sword elite, so as soon as you see him, make sure you get the fire on him. Oftentimes Emil will gather his attention, as you see right there. I just kind of stood back and let Emil shotgun his shield away, and then I just headshotted him with the DMR. So I'm still juggling the concussion rifle. Keep that in mind. We do not want to lose our concussion rifle. We need to take that to the very end. That is absolutely critical on LASO, solo and co-op. You want to keep this concussion rifle all the way to the last section of the game. So we're progressing on here. We've taken out the bottom level. Now we're going to take out these jackals here. There's 3 on the left hand side, and you can see that we haven't really had to deal with that elite or those grunts that come out of that doorway. They're sitting up there trying to push through those boxes, so that's nice. So we're kind of free to take our time and work on the jackals and work on that invisible sword elite. So we're going to clean those up, and then we're going to grab one of their plasma rifles, and we're going to use that to take out the elite that's in that door. I actually had a little struggle with it. We'll talk about a really safe area that you could stand to kind of take his shields down. but he just kept jumping away, and it was kind of a nightmare. It took a long time for me to actually take his shields down, but with time you'll be able to do it. So we'll kill this jackal here, melee him, get our shields back, and we'll pick up one of these plasma rifles. Or pick any plasma rifle up. It doesn't have to be one of theirs. And now we're going to go along this catwalk here, and if you look to the left, you can actually jump up into this little, structure here and kind of crouch, and you'll kind of be protected relatively from this elite shots and from the grunt. The grunts actually typically don't shoot at you unless they come down the stairs and get close. But this is kind of what you want to do. You want to just burst this plasma pistol and hopefully pop that elite shields. I really had a kind of unfortunate run right here because he just really dove out of the way a lot, and I actually I think I run out of plasma pistol ammo before I'm even able to pop his shields. So I end up kind of taking out the grunts and then going downstairs and getting some more DMR ammo. But just be safe here, because if you die in this section, likely you'll have to do the section all over again. Now I actually did get a checkpoint earlier, luckily, but sometimes you won't. So just take your time, because all that's left is these 3 grunts and that elite. So we're just going to take our time here, and we're going to take them out. And Emil just hanging out, I guess, he doesn't want to help.
East on the platform looks good.
There's also a health pack here if you need it. Bunch of DMR ammo right there. So there's a plenty of DMR ammo. Do not hesitate to use all your DMR in this room. Do not use your needler rifle. Save all of that. That's actually why my partner has it. I exchanged it earlier in a weapons locker for an assault rifle, and he picked it up in that last room. So just because there's tons of DMR ammo in this room that we can use. This guy was just not having it. Usually, I mean, he'll jump around, but he's just extra jumpy on this playthrough. I mean, he's like, I guess we know what's coming, man. Just chill. But eventually, I think I pop his shields right here. Yeah, so pop his shields, get that headshot, and then we're ready to move on. As always in LASO, don't get too antsy with the grunts like I did here. They can still kill you pretty quick. One grunt can take you out in LASO, but I figured I'd run up here and melee him to get my health back. We've got 3 more needler rifles right here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab all this ammo. So now I've got a DMR and a needler and the concussion rifle that I'm going to juggle into the next section. And basically, we're progressing on to the end here. And eventually I'm going to give all the DMR ammo to my partner, and he's going to give all the needler rifle ammo to me. But I'm just going to progress on. I'm not sure why I went back down here, to be honest. Maybe, probably to fill up on DMR. I think I topped off, but you don't need to. There's plenty of DMR ammo actually in the next section. But I figured I'd go down here and get it and then fall on this crack and waste a bunch of time, because that's what I do. But anyway, let's get upstairs. Emil, just chilling. Look at me. He's like, I'm not going to help you, man. Like, come on. Like, come up here and help me out. We could have been through this probably 2 minutes ago if you just came up here and helped me out. So let's juggle all this forward. be careful in this doorway. Once it closes, I think it's closed forever.
Keys to Noble Team. We're running out of time here, Spartans.
So be careful with that. So you want to make sure you have the concussion rifle through the door. So you can see once it's closed, you won't be able to go back. So be sure you have the concussion rifle through the door. So you can see I brought with me the concussion, the DMR, and the needler. And I think eventually I'm going to give all the DMR ammo to my partner, and I'll get all the needler rifle ammo, and I'll show you why that's critical right here at the end, which we're pretty much right into the last section. So we're going to go up here, and we're on the last section of our LASO playthrough. This is exciting. If you're with me, if you're with this playthrough, I hope you guys are having fun. This is really a fun playthrough. Some people will actually use those barrels there. They'll kind of melee them over and use them for cover, but you don't need to. It's just like a jackal and some grunts in here. So just use that DMR ammo and headshot them, get them out of the way, and we're ready to move on. Now, in the next section has a pretty tricky jump, and the entire reason we brought this concussion rifle with us is to do this jump, okay? And if you need to, just load up the last rally point in this mission and practice it on easy. Well, I guess I can't say that. I guess you have to get the concussion rifle and bring it here. So I guess you couldn't just load up the last checkpoint, but load up this mission on easy and come to this point and just practice it, because it is a little difficult, especially if you're on solo. You really don't want to have to constantly save and quit because you're not getting this. You know, you want to be able to get this relatively efficiently, because if you're not able to get this quickly, it can be very frustrating over time. So there's a health pack there, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and take this outside. I'm going to take this DMR outside for my buddy. So at the end of the day, I'm going to leave the DMR on the ground for my partner. So he's basically going to have 2 full DMRs, and you want the partner that stays on the ground to just pick off grunts. So I've got the needler rifle and the concussion rifle. We're going to run down these stairs, and we're going to throw a grenade right here. 3 shots with the concussion rifle, boom, 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 and jump up on this pipe here, go up the ramp of the pipe, turn around, shoot on the pipe, 2 more shots, 1 more shot actually, and that's going to jump us on this ramp. We can jump over the wall and over this wall into the room that leads us to the cannon that we actually have to access at the end after you are supposedly taking out all the enemies in the next section. And this makes this infinitely easier. I mean, on LASO, it's almost a requirement that you do this, because now we can get in this cannon and we can just shoot all of the phantoms that come in, instead of them dropping off all of those hammer, generals, the brutes, all the grunts, the fuel rod grunts, all that stuff. We can just take out by killing all the phantoms that come in. And Emil's going to be up here with you. You can actually melee him, knock him off the platform so he falls down and doesn't get in this, and also will fight the enemies. So you can knock him through this little crack here. And Emil, you weren't helping me earlier, so that's what you get, right? He was just chilling earlier. He's not going to chill this time. He's fighting, he's helping, he's contributing to the cause. All right, so now that we've done this, this is one of the reasons we brought the needler rifle. When the enemies are on the ground, we can just, because the brutes don't have shields per se, we can just super combine them and kill them. Again, with the tough luck skull on, they'll generally jump out of the way, and that's really the good time to get the 3 shots on them. So when they jump, then boom, 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 as they're laying on the ground and getting up. That's the best time to get the super combine on them. And what we want to do from the top, we want to use our needler rifle to get the brutes. Your partners on the bottom should be focusing on grunts and smaller enemies with their DMR, and just staying back. All right, staying back, staying on that main platform. Don't get down into the fight, because once you break out that first group of enemies, whoever's up here on the cannon can just clean up all the phantoms basically as they come in. And you really don't have to, do much other than this, right? We're just going to hang out up here. It's pretty safe. No one's going to shoot at you really. We're just kind of hanging out. and we're going to clean up this section. So there's really not much I need to say here. I'm just going to kind of let this play out. But one thing is, you need to know when you get about 2 enemies left, when there's about 2 enemies left on the board, that's when the next phantom is going to come. So just pay attention, because when you're getting around to that point, you really want to go ahead and get into this cannon and take out these phantoms before they drop off the enemies. And I can't tell you how much easier getting up here makes it. It's critical that you learn how to do that concussion jump for the lasso playthrough, and absolutely critical that you learn how to do it and get that concussion rifle from that elite in the beginning of the mission. So that is huge, as well as your speed run, as well as your legendary speed run. This is going to make this section way faster in regards to that as well. So let's go ahead and clean up this area and enjoy this as we kind of take out everybody. And once we kind of get to the end and where we're jumping back down, I'll chime in and talk about what we need to do. Jackal down there holding us up. I think I had my needle rifle equipped. That Jackal was holding us up, I think. You know, we had more than 2 enemies left. My God, look at all those misses. So I think when we take him out, the phantoms start coming in, and that's when this cannon really sees. So before these enemies drop off, you just, boom, take out the phantom, and you get up here, and you don't have to worry about any of these enemies. We just clean them up. You don't have to worry too much. Now, you did see me actually getting shot. The phantom that comes from the right hand side is actually a little too low to shoot, so that is going to drop off some enemies. You're not going to be able to take them out. That phantom will get some shots on you, so you can hop out there. You'll see the enemies. They dropped off to my right, but we're going to deal with them a little bit later. But let's keep cleaning up these phantoms, and we're progressing, guys. We're almost done. Alright, so once you kind of get to this point, if you look over to the right, that's where those jackals and also a hammer brute, I think, as well as a fuel rod brute are dropped into the battle. So you are going to have to deal with those 2 guys, which we'll deal with later. But kind of clean up these jackals here if you can from the top. You don't want to obviously jump down, right? We're not going to be able to get back up here again. But we'll kind of take these guys out, and I think we will spawn in the next, once we kind of kill this guy, we're going to spawn in the next phantoms. Ooh, I super combined him on the foot. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so taking out those jackals, boom. Next set of phantoms, boom. Take out that one first because he can get out of your range because you can't really look down right with this cannon. But take out that one that's in the distance before you do the one on the left, because the one on the left you'll always be able to shoot, but that one that's in the distance can get out of your range actually. So you want to take him out first, and then once you've taken that out, all that's really left is a fuel rod brute, and there may be a hammer brute as well. And that guy will generally be down here. I can't remember if he's down here in this playthrough or not, or if my partner killed him. Yeah, he is down there. And what you want to do is kind of surprise him. So you jump down, rush around, and you can assassinate him. But you can only assassinate him if he doesn't know you're there. If he spots you and then you try to assassinate him, it won't work. So just jump down there and immediately try to assassinate him. Run around a rock or whatever you need to do. Wait a second, give it some time. Just wait for the opportune moment to jump down from the cannon so you can get that assassination. And then the only thing that you have left to deal with is the fuel rod brute. But that's a pretty dangerous enemy to deal with, so take your time, don't rush it. A good way is the needler rifle. You can he'll shield lock and jump around because he's trying to, and you got two people, so the needler rifle will make him jump around, and you and your partner can just kind of light him up. I think I tried to snipe him a little bit here, but he's shielded. So he's a tougher enemy. Oh yeah, we actually died here one time. You saw we cut it right there. But with him left, you probably will get a checkpoint. So just take him out. He's the last enemy. No real need to be super cautious. And now if you're playing solo, definitely you will want to be a little bit more cautious. But you can see we're kind of putting the pressure on here. My buddy hits him with the plasma pistol, and eventually we take him down. And after that, we are going to head up to the platform for a little bit of discussion and letting everybody know that we're going to take it for the team and hang out here and let them get away. So before we do that, head back into the building, make sure you're full health. All right, make sure you have as much ammo as you need. One person definitely wants to have a plasma pistol, so my buddy's going to rock a plasma pistol. But the most important thing is that you've grabbed a hologram power up. Okay, so you need to go up to the second level of that room and grab the hologram power, because we're going to use that in the next section to kind of sneak around the enemies. Okay, so make sure you grab that. So we're going to go ahead and go up there and grab that right now. So I'm going to take with me the needler rifle. Honestly, the person that is going to take the route that I'm taking, aka the person that's probably been doing most of the jumping and most of the parkour type stuff, you really want to still have a needler ammo. And I'm going to show you why. That was really why we wanted to have full needler rifle coming into this section, right? Because we really wanted to. Another thing, the hologram, actually, if you fire the hologram, you can see how full your needler rifle is, right? Or it lets you know how much ammo you have. A little trick there. But after the cutscene, you're going to have a few grunts that are going to spawn out of the door up there, as well as a top tier elite. I'm not good with all the lore, a general or whatever, but he's going to be maybe an honor guard elite, I think, something like that, and a few generals. And we're going to walk up there and use our plasma pistol to burst his shield off. You can use these little canisters here to the left to get some cover and just kind of strafe around and keep bursting him with your hammer. He tends to stay up there, and this one he actually runs down at me. But he'll tend to stay up there on that platform. But nonetheless, once you kill him, we're ready to move on into the next section, and this is where our hologram is very important. So as soon as I think I go in here maybe to grab some health or ammo, I'm not sure. You definitely want to make sure you have as much health as possible before you go into this last section. So if you can't pick up the health as you saw me there, shoot a full plasma pistol shot at the wall, and that splash damage will hurt your health, and you can grab the health after that. So the person that grabbed the hologram, okay, you just launch that hologram, and then we're going to go into this room, onto this structure here. We're going to kind of climb onto it. Once you get it to this area, you can launch another hologram out, and we're going to turn around and jump onto this ledge. Take this ledge around to where we can kind of jump over this fence, and we're kind of up to the second level here, and we're going to take out this engineer. It's pretty critical that you take out this engineer with 2 super combines, right? This needler rifle is critical that you have all this ammo for this last section. And then we're going to jump onto these platforms. Whoa! Oh my god, I can't believe that didn't hit me. But we're going to jump onto these platforms and jump at this fuel rifle, got fuel rod equipped elite right here. And this, if you utilize that, needler rifle, he'll kind of jump out of the way, and that will give you an opportunity to assassinate him. And once you assassinate him, then just head up these stairs, and that's going to trigger the ending portion of this level. It's going to trigger all these phantoms coming in, which you're supposed to be shooting with the cannon, but we don't want to do that on LASO because they light you up and they eventually will kill you. It's almost impossible to actually stay up there and kill all the phantoms and survive. So once you trigger that and you hear that message that they're all coming in and everything like that, just come down in the stairwell and just chill. And we're just going to wait here for about a minute until we get the cue to shoot the main ship. So we're going to wait until you hear this. Of autumn, look at it. All right.
Fire now, Lieutenant! Hit it!
Alright, once you get that cue to fire now, immediately run up the stairs, jump into the cannon, and as quickly as you can, fire 2 shots. You're going to have to fire 2 shots on LASO. So you got to shoot as fast as you can because you are going to take damage. That's why you want to have as much health. But once you shoot that, y'all, that is the end of our LASO playthrough. All you have to do after this is play the Lone Wolf mission, which, it's not really a mission. You just have to die in order to beat it. So I hope you all enjoyed this playthrough. I hope you had fun. I hope the Co-Op LASO gave you, helped you out and helped you with the differences that you may see in co-op. One of the things I'll mention is don't skip this cutscene, because there have been people that have reported skipping the cutscene has actually not credited them for the last mission, and they've not gotten the achievement. So let this cutscene play out. It is a bug, and maybe they'll fix it in the future, but some people again have reported that skipping this cutscene has nullified the achievement. So keep that in mind. And again, I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you had as much fun as I did making it. So if you like my stuff, as always, feel free to like and subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you in one of my future videos. Damron out.